Don't move to Lubbock, Texas if these 6 things are on your radar where you do not want to live. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about 6 things about Lubbock. That way you can make a decision for yourself if you choose to want to move here or not. A lot of people say a lot of different things about Lubbock, Texas, and trust me, I've heard them all. But in these 6 reasons, if you don't really agree with any of these, then maybe it's not meant for you to move here. And we're gonna get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living, sleeping, eating, playing, drinking in Lubbock, Texas, well, hey, I'm Sam Riddle with Brick and Loft Realty here in Lubbock, Texas, and we post videos about Lubbock, Texas. And we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about all things Lubbock. And I get clients every single day that reach out to me via text, call, email, that are looking to make their move here to Lubbock, Texas. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love the opportunity to get to know you and your family. So as I mentioned, we're gonna get after these 6 things to look out for if you plan on moving to Lubbock. So Lubbock is in the South Plains. And if you like humidity, then Lubbock, Texas may not be the city for you, because let me tell you, it is dry. And I mean dry. Coming from Austin, when I went to school here, I was so not used to how dry it was. Now I'm very used to how dry it is since I've been here for forever. And then going back home to Austin, I mean, it's like, it just hits you. But if you're coming from, any of the coastal states, you will be in shock by how dry it is, especially, in the summer, it is a hot, dry heat. We do have most of our rain in the summertime. However, it's not like it rains all the time here either. So mixed with some dry climate, a little bit of rain. If you like humidity, then you might need to get a good skincare plan, because let me tell you, if you are used to that, then you might be a little in shock. So do not move here if you love the humidity. Number 2, if you like cool weather all year round, then Lubbock might not be the spot for you. We have a climate like the desert. We get all types of temperature and weather, especially in the summer. It gets hot. And like I just mentioned, really hot without little to no rainfall. And so it is a dry heat. I know, like, if you are coming from a coastal area, you might actually prefer that because you're not sticking to yourself. Your hair, your clothes, is it constantly sweating or constantly sticking to you, which is kind of weird to talk about. But if you enjoy that, being in a cooler climate, well, Lubbock definitely has its days. So we do get really cold days. We have snow here in Lubbock. We don't have a snow like Colorado, of course. It does snow between 3 to 4 times a year in the wintertime. However, it gets really dry cold. And if you've ever been in a dry cold, it is bone-chilling cold. So if you don't like cool weather or hot weather, then Lubbock might not be the spot for you, because we get all 4 seasons in one day. It might be the middle of November and it's 40 degrees in the morning and 70 degrees during the day, which is very hard to dress for. So it's impossible. We get all 4 seasons and then it's back to being cold again. And then maybe in the middle of summer, like just recently, we had a cool front coming out of nowhere and I was in jeans and a jacket. So we get all types of different weather depending on the season and the day, of course. Number 3, if you don't like the dust, well, maybe Lubbock might not be for you because it's dusty. Lubbock is known for its haboobs. And if you don't know what a haboob is, then you're about to, especially in the springtime here in Lubbock. A haboob essentially is just a big cloud of dust rolling into the city, and you can see it on the horizon whenever you look out. just because Lubbock is very, very flat, so you can see things coming in from miles away, and it's just rolling in, and it is covered in dust. We just recently built this building behind us, or behind me, and they accidentally forgot to seal the top part of the roof and ceiling, and so we had a big dust storm came in, and it just covered everything in dust. Needless to say, that got fixed, and we don't have any more dust, but you will frequently have to dust more living here in Lubbock unless you have really great windows. But if you live in an older home where maybe the windows aren't as great, then you might want to think about either replacing the windows for more energy efficient ones, or just know that you're going to have to do a little bit more dusting because it will happen. It's inevitable. Sometimes it gets in your teeth. Not to make it sound negative or anything, it's a great place to live, but you do have to worry about the dust. And number 4, kind of touched on it earlier, but if you don't like seasons, then Lubbock probably is not your place because we get them all. And like I said before, we get them all in one day sometimes. When it's cold, it's cold. It gets cold from about October to March, a little bit, probably like November to March maybe. But again, you will have some really hot days in between there. You will have some really hot days on Thanksgiving sometimes. And last year it was super cold, so it kind of fluctuates. And then also too, in the summer, you might get some really cold days in the summer. Especially like I mentioned, Lubbock is in the South Plains, which means we have a very dry, desert-like climate. So typically when it gets hot, we get very cool in the night, which is kind of a great thing because it's not constant. At least you have some changing of temperatures, but it does make it hard to dress for, let me tell you. And then number 5, if you don't like hiking trails and you love to be on flat surfaces and flat roads, well, Lubbock might be the perfect place for you because we don't have much of a terrain here in Lubbock. As far as in the main city, it's very, very, very flat. We do not have a ton of trees, especially in the newer development communities where they literally have been building houses in middle of farmland. They're demolishing the farmland and building up houses. We do have a ton of agricultural around here in Lubbock, so we have tons of farmers as well. And if you don't like living in a secluded town where you can see for miles and you can't really see a tree, or you don't have the rolling hills to ride your bike or do exercises or go running, walking, walk your dog, play in the park, well, maybe you'd want to go on vacation for that if you have to move here. Lubbock doesn't have the best for that, but we do have some amazing parks. Not to say that there isn't any trees here in Lubbock, especially in the established neighborhoods, you're going to find more trees. However, it's just very few and far between, and what trees we do have and what grass we do have, it's pretty brown. It doesn't get all that green in the summertime, or in the springtime, like you might see in other major cities around Texas. But that's what they have sprinklers for, right? And number 6, last but not least, if you are not a people person, well, Lubbock may not be the place for you. We are super friendly here in Lubbock. We always have our neighbors back. If you don't know what the Red Raiders are, I know I said this before, but wreck 'em. We are a huge, huge college town where we embody the spirit of Texas Tech University. We live for game days, whether that be basketball, football, soccer, baseball, you name it. There's gonna be tons of fans all around Lubbock with their flags waving in the air. Also, if you ever need help, there's tons of amazing Facebook groups here in Lubbock that really just help cater to the needs of individuals. There's tons of startup businesses or just businesses that help bring food to your office. They home cook it in their kitchen. We love to help each other out, especially, I feel like Lubbock is a big, small town because everybody knows everybody about everything. If that makes sense. Everybody knows everyone. And whether you may not think it or not, you know someone that knows someone who knows someone that I may know. So it's crazy how big of a small town Lubbock is. But once you move here, you'll learn real quick. I did want to point out a pro about moving to Lubbock because Since Lubbock is very flat, we live on a grid system. So if you're used to getting lost in a bigger city, well, it's pretty hard to get lost in Lubbock because we are on a grid system. Numerically and alphabetically, this is how the town is laid out. So if depending on where you're trying to go, you can almost always find your way around depending on the street and the address, because it's pretty easy to get to know Lubbock, especially if you're here for like a week and you drive around. It should not take you very long to get familiar with Lubbock if you do move here. I hope that you enjoyed this video and all the things about Lubbock that you may or may not have heard from other people telling you about Lubbock. It is truly such a wonderful place to live. I honestly never thought that I'd live in Lubbock, but after living here, I don't picture myself really anywhere else right now where we are. So, I mean, it's great. We love people. It's a great small town, very friendly, and it's only going to continue to grow and get better. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And until next time, I'll see you around.